Welcome back to the GSL Code S. We just watched Creator play an amazing Game 1 and then crash and burn alive. So far, the closest to getting out of this group. We got to do the second half. For those of you guys that are in the audience out here, I know that there is a spot on our screen that's not showing up. We will be trying to get that fixed as soon as possible. Actually, no, this is the new way we're going to do it out here. We're going to make it a little bit harder for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, you have to kind of guess what you can't see there. So, guys, just sit tight if you're in our audience.
Yeah, you can see that. Look at that. Big L.
Just assume our normal positions when we're casting.
Or we could, like, cast like this to make it seem like...
Yeah, that's... you got, like, one hand up here.
Moving like a mirror is hard. Okay.
You should have worked out more. Your forearms are not big enough to cover that.
Oh, no.
This has been interesting. Even though Creator had some lackluster performance, it really is something that highlights the stress and the challenge of a live competition.
Yeah.
And you know, no matter how much you have to execute it or you lose.
It's too bad because he played such a strong game there, but maybe he can come back in the loser match. Whoever he hits is going to be super hard to kill. I think that, obviously Zest is just godly in PvP or anything really. And then GuMiho, I think, strategically is one of the stronger Terrans versus Protoss. So it's a tough one for him. But first, let's take a look at this match, Tasteless. Zest versus GuMiho. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, I think Tasteless from a couple months ago would assume that Zest wins every time, but GuMiho, very similar to Alive, by the way, seems to be playing better and better and better.
Yeah.
So I would not be totally shocked if GuMiho actually comes out on top here, but I'm still leaning towards Zest.
Yeah, I always lean towards Zest, basically against anyone.
Yeah.
His execution is second to none, like his micro, his macro. He's just such a fluid player. But I think a lot of times he is using slightly antiquated builds. Like he'll bring something in, like he revolutionized PvT. So it's not completely fair to say that. But then like he'll stay with builds too long sometimes. I feel like.
Well, I think they keep working, and he'll almost wait for the builds themselves to exhaust.
Out
of the meta,
like
instead
completely.
of trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. Like for instance, his PvZ recently, like. He's just like, no, I'll just keep doing Archon drops forever until the end of time. And it's like, well, everyone's kind of very good against that now. Maybe you should switch it up some. And he's been a little bit stubborn on that regard, but he's going up against GuMiho now, who I think is always cutting edge in his own ways.
I agree. He definitely marches to his own beat. A very aggressive player. Map number 1 is going to be on Deadwing. After that, Nuker Precinct and Abyssal Reef. Let's do this. Our second best of 3. Esports, PC games, these are all my favorite things. In the bottom left, our Protoss player in the blue.
Zest.
And in the upper right, in the red, he is
Psystorm Gaming, GuMiho.
Oh, the gold graphics for Zest. That's a championship graphics if you won GSL.
Oh, that's cool.
He's won it twice, though. Where's the double gold? All right. Want some 24 karat.
That's right.
Zest, last night I was watching a little VSL when I got back, Team Zest. And I watched it all the way to the end when it was Zest about to play, and then I fell asleep. So I don't know how he did in that PvT last night. Hopefully he did well.
We've got a lot of StarCraft going on right now.
Yeah.
I woke up and got my phone out and started watching, everything that's going on in Austin right now.
Oh, God, that's so... Yeah.
And I'm just like...
I'm sad I don't get to watch it. A lot of times these events I get to watch when I'm staying home and doing GSL, but I've been a bit too busy. Maybe tonight I can catch a few, but... Yeah.
Congrats again, Artosis.
Thank you.
You are now the father of 2 twins. And, of course...
Well, I hope so, right?
Well, I guess, yeah, twins, not 2 twins yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's how you can mark it. So, you're a dad. You're a dad now of 3 kids total, Artosis.
3 kids.
3 kids, man.
Wow.
Now you can have each kid play one race in StarCraft and have that kind of family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you have a 4th kid, they got to play random. I think that's the rule.
My older one is already called Zerg, I think.
Okay.
But you know, she's a pretty good girl. I don't know if she whines enough to really play Zerg.
Nice Zest fan art there in the audience.
That'd be funny, like, actually, if all three of them want to play a lot. Oh, look at how close their win rates are. That's really cool. You can see that GuMiho really has been coming on strong. But actually, think about that for a moment. Like, if you... I hope all three of them want to end up playing a lot of StarCraft and want to be pro gamers. I don't think that'll be the case. But I have been teaching one of the Ari about StarCraft, and I think she's going to be a Zerg. That's what it seems like so far. But imagine if they all played like the same race. They'd be so good at mirror matchups.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They'd be
so
amazing.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, Reaper coming out. Does manage to get away from the Shading Adept. We have a Robo-Bay coming up here, so it seems like Zest is going to be going for a fairly conservative build, probably more of the reactionary style.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Like maybe a fast Colossus opening, because we don't see the Twilight yet. If he was going like Blink or Glaives, that would already be going up.
Okay, he's going to get a Warp Prism first, though. Now, this can be for a very modest harass here with Adepts. Whenever you see a Warp Prism coming, usually if the player is playing correctly, they're going to have to use it. But to the degree to which they use it, that just depends. I feel like in this case, he's probably just going to come in here and try to kill off some SCVs.
Yeah, and he's actually getting a Twilight, so this could be Glaives behind it as well. And this is like a build that actually Hush has been working on for a really long time. And of course, you know, Hush making it into GSL, having some good games. But
he's been very hush-hush about it.
Yeah. But, you know, just like kind of opening up with Prism harassment with some Adepts. You can go into a third base easily off of this, or you can go into an all-in easily off of this. So we'll see if it is Glaives, though, in just a moment.
Looks like this Adept is going to be able to intercept and deny any further scouting there from the Reaper.
By the way, definitely we need to... Ooh, this is a nice little catch-up by GuMiho, yeah.
Get back here!
This is funny.
Well, it looks like he manages to get away without really losing anything but shields back there.
Dark Shrine. Okay, this is really cool. Oh, I like the 3 Stalkers, too. The 3 Stalkers can kind of fight against that. But DT drop, this is something we've seen regaining some popularity currently against Terran. So really cool to see Zest going for that. And actually what I wanted to say before is we saw when he was chasing the Reaper just how much better he is at things like that.
Oh, that was so sick. Did you see him pick that up?
God. Well, this is Zest,
that was
right?
so good.
His control, his execution, everything about it is so strong when you compare him to other Protosses.
You can almost see that the Terran did not truly believe that there could be a full-on frontal attack here at his entrance. And he didn't really have the defense here. He's getting one tank up here. And it looks like he's going to get out here just before that Widow Mine is able to attack again. But the Dark Shrine's almost finished.
Yeah, this is really good, too, because he's putting so much pressure on. You don't expect DTs to come in. You might expect, like, Glaives are about to finish or something like that.
And in fact, he can probably just warp him in here at the front if he wants to.
Yeah.
He's just got to keep that Warp Prism alive.
And, it looks like GuMiho is ready for just about anything but DTs right now. I didn't see exactly how many scans he's going to have.
I wonder if the Stalker was a bit of a giveaway that there's no Glaives. Does he just go right on top of the tank? No, yeah, see, no, he just wants to try to thin this out. I actually wonder if he should have just sent that in with the rest of his army initially.
Yeah.
Since he was going to go and just...
Well, I guess he wanted to take as many as possible. I would have liked the Prism to be a little bit closer. He only saves 1 DT, but a couple scans going on. It looks like that's about the end of this.
He's also making a third Nexus behind this. But yeah, I mean, Terran's basically held this off no problem. Stim is about 5 seconds away from finishing up here. 3 more DTs.
Yeah, if he splits these up, right? Like 2 scans already occurred.
I see. What's weird is that he's sending all the DTs in there at once. Oh my God, the Warp Prism's going to live. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about this, Artosis. I don't know why you'd send 3 in like that.
Well, I think he's trying to massacre Marines as quickly as possible and pick up the DTs, but like that was good micro by GuMiho where he targets the Prism. Yeah. So then you let the DTs still attack, and then when the Prism gets a little bit too far away, you can kill the DTs, I guess. But
yeah.
Like, yeah, I think that Zest is almost trying to be too fancy here.
Well, now we're going to see this drop over here with the tank and the Marines. This is pretty common on this map. Hold up, though. Another DT drop over here. Unfortunately, he did swipe at the depot, so immediately GuMiho's going to know what's coming. Wow, really well-placed Widow Mine.
So he's made 8 DTs so far.
Yeah,
right?
This means he's going to be very slowed down on his overall tech.
Maybe even more than that at this point. Oh, boy. He needs a Prism back here as well. This is really hurting. Oh, my God.
Now, the Immortal can actually come here and hit the tank. and force this to end. I don't know. I don't feel like Zest is in a good position. He's lost 10 probes. As you said, he made 8 DTs, and I don't really feel like they paid for themselves back here.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you that they did not quite pay for themselves here. Oh my God, is that just barely out? Look at that, 4 hit points.
Combat Shields is nearing completion, whereas Protoss has just started getting Blink. Now he's got DTs here to try to milk out another scan, which he does do. It's important to note that whenever you see the Terran scan, he's not landing a mule, so he's losing potentially minerals in a very indirect way.
Yeah, so like, but the DT, with the amount of minerals and gas it costs, I don't feel like this is really quite as efficient. It becomes more efficient if you force Terran to turn around or they don't have a scan once, because then you kill a lot. 9 DTs have fallen so far. Holy crap, that's so many.
And now Terran's going to begin a push up here, and it looks like he's going to have a good liberation zone set up over here. It's not going to be that easy for Stalkers to get down here and take that out.
And this is a tank-based push against someone who's going Blink. So this is like going to be very difficult. He needs the DTs to actually pay off eventually here. Like, he needs scans to run out and a DT to start really screwing things up if he's going to hold on.
This is one of the dangers of going heavily into Dark Templar tech, is that it's not easy to keep your tech progressing at the rate at which you want to, where Terran's just basically getting bigger and stronger. And look at this. He's actually hitting this so that these probes can't even mine over here, and the Nexus is under threat as well.
Oh, man, great pullbacks by GuMiho as well. This is so well positioned. But a DT on top of the tanks.
He does keep it alive, though. This is looking kind of bad for Zest, guys.
It's been 10 or 11 DTs, so he's milked out so many scans. I feel like if you're going to do this, you got to do it all the way and keep making DTs.
Okay, it looks like the Shades are going to come forward here. There's still 3 tanks doing a lot of damage. And just Immortals against these Marines. These Marines are going to gun this down, no problem.
Yeah, Zest is dead.
GuMiho takes game number 1 in our best of 3.
Indeed he does. So, by the way, guys, sorry about that screen failure. I swear to God, this never happens.
We're still trying to get it worked out, guys. We'll try to keep you updated as to what we're doing to get that sorted. GuMiho, the Tal Terran, always plays with a towel over his mouse.
Indeed. Needs to keep that warm. It's like a blanket for the mouse.
Yeah.
No, dry. Anyways, that, like, Zest just lost a few too many DTs. He wasn't really splitting them. He was trying to, like, use them to kill the army before GuMiho would react. And then, like, again, I feel like if you are forcing this many scans, you keep making DTs till they have no scans. Because scans don't regenerate as quickly as 50 energy, as they, like, run out, basically, right? So if you scan, you don't have 50 energy again by the time that scan runs out. So eventually you can milk out all the scans and make the army go away.
That's right.
But he was, like, kind of making other units. I don't know. It was just tough. When you lose 10 DTs without too much damage, you're pretty dead. Artosis and tasteless, the banter is so baseless.
In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Zest
with the gold here.
Golden God.
In the bottom left, in the red.
Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
Blue, the color of sadness from never winning a GSL.
He might get it one day.
It is possible. He's one of these guys like Ryung that's like really peaking again right now. That's been around for a million billion years. GuMiho, originally a random pro gamer.
That's right. I always forget about that.
He was the last random player in the Code S, I believe.
Well, you know, if you get how the matchups work, random can be really abusive. The problem is if people can just stop any of the silly stuff you're going to try to throw at them, they usually end up beating you because they just have more experience.
Yeah.
And whatever the given matchup is. That's why random players always end up dying out.
It is very true. It's like really hard to maintain random. You have to be so much better than your opponents. Like there's like certain stuff random players just lose to. And you can kind of feel it out too, right? Like because there's a certain number of cheeses that are very strong without having to play the race the whole time.
Yeah,
I think it's hard for random players on the ladder a lot of the time, especially as they get up a bit higher. But anyways, here we are. GuMiho been a Terran player for a very long time now.
Command center on the way here. We're waiting for the cybernetic score to finish to see what the next tech is going to be. Oh, and it looks like we got our screen fixed, Artosis. That's good. Our screen here on the stage.
Oh, excellent.
Sorry about that, guys. Does not normally happen.
Well, GuMiho, a pretty crushing victory there, but Zest going to back it up and play a much more standard style, it looks like. DT drops are coming back a little bit, but that was a weird frontal attack with DTs and stuff.
So the reason why he does that, guys, is because it's not that safe. So there's a chance that the Terran player isn't prepared. I do think some of this came down to the fact that he just ran in there with 3 DTs without his army. If you're going to try to just run them over by too many DTs coming in there at once, I think you need to hit all at once. I might be wrong about that, but that seems to be the right way to do it.
Yeah, maybe like he was hoping that he would kill like 6 or 9 Marines before a scan occurred, and then like, whereas if you attack in with everything at once, I guess the Marines are at least putting out damage before they die or something. But anyways, whatever it was, it didn't work. And here we are, he's going into Oracle. This is a much more standard opening. Don't know exactly where he's going from this, but definitely could be a Phoenix Adept type of play.
So that Oracle is going to be headed over here to this corner of the map. We're now looking and seeing where is GuMiho going to hide the Widow Mine. It's going to be right over these workers here, and you can see that's actually a really good hiding spot. It's really difficult to see at all that that's there.
Also want to say I love the fact that GuMiho is going for this Cyclone. Hopefully Creator's watching this right now, because if GuMiho loses and Creator plays as he was playing before, this is the type of build that will kill a super fast third Nexus. But Zest is playing super careful as well. He's adding a couple gateways right now, getting a second Oracle also.
Now let's see if this ends up going into a Widow Mine here. He wants to try to get as many units as possible. A Cyclone's going to pop out here, so it's probably better off if he just leaves.
I like how he was just kind of camping that area. He knows that there's nothing there. He'll just kill anything that pops out.
Uh-oh. These Marines are coming up here for a poke, and this third base could be under some serious pressure.
Oh, man. I think he can actually maybe force a cancel with this really fast move out. He's going after those pounds and make sure overcharges aren't going to get him. Great kiting right now. Oh, and the Cyclone being boosted up as well. This was really well done by GuMiho.
Now hitting this Nexus, Zest is in some trouble.
Okay, coming in, and he's going to be able to massacre these Marines very quickly with double Oracle, but good micro going on as well. He's going to be able to kill all the flying units here of Zest, but Zest just wants to keep this third Nexus alive so badly. 3 Stalkers coming out. I think he will.
Okay, he should be able to boost away.
You know what? This was super good for GuMiho, though.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, GuMiho's not stopping, guys.
Ooh.
He's got a second Cyclone. There's still that one Cyclone that's in there. Even the Viking, although it's not great on the ground, it's something to soak damage.
Oracle's on the way still. These Stalkers going to help out a lot. Having to pick off pylons, so that's kind of like adding health to this. No pylon in the front for this mothership core.
Good dodge there.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's just trying to make sure. Actually, it looks like he's going to get sandwiched here anyways. Not a bad idea, though, I got to say. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, he did so well because Zest actually took the safety build of making 2 gates before his third, which actually stops these types of pushes generally, but the initial Marines coming out put enough pressure on that he actually still almost got it. Wow.
And look at this. The medevac is going to get away. Wow.
He's playing really well.
Really, really well. I mean, he didn't end up crushing the third, but he thinned out a good amount of that army. He did some good harass. He still kept those 2 Cyclones alive. He can repair that later.
Yeah.
And I think as he takes his third, he might even try to push again. 3 more barracks are about to finish. Once he gets add-ons attached to there, his production is going to be insane.
He's going to have a really good army. He's going double E-bays. He's going into that macro type of play. Now, what does Zest do here with the Twilight, with the Forge? He's probably going to have to go into Blink. You know, when you're going multiple Oracles and not Phoenixes, a lot of times that is the way that you'll end up playing it. But right now, his army consists of almost only Stalkers. So let's see what tech route he's going to go for, and it is going to be that Blink.
So more gateways are coming down here now for Zest since he secured that third base, getting a very functional economy. And he's going to just continue to add to this as he's going to be trying to be ready for whatever the push is coming from Terran. I mean, Stim and Combat Shields not finished yet, so that means he will not try to push. He might try to expand, but he certainly won't try to attack until these are actually done.
Raven flying around. Looks like it wants to get some harassment done. Blink isn't done yet, so it could be able to do it. A couple Stalkers. He saw that Raven, so he's waiting for it. Here it comes.
Yeah, and the Raven's probably not going to be able to get in here and do that much damage.
Might just throw down an auto turret, try to get a stalker or something.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're spending your energy,
Yeah.
there's not that much utility in banking up energy at this phase of the game. The only thing with the Raven you got to be careful about is because it's slow, it can be picked off. If you're not careful, like on this map, for instance, you're not really that safe moving around on the upper right side of the map. You could get cornered.
Once Blink is done, you're going to be able to catch it pretty easily.
Yeah.
A lot of stalkers have been warped in here. And if GuMiho is just kind of sitting back, look, the Robo just now added, so splash damage is a really long ways off for Zest.
Now,
that makes me worried for him.
Okay, he's going to try to come in here again, and this is right as Combat Shields and Stim are about to finish up. So this is going to be a real threat. Now, we can see Zest is hitting these SCVs and these Marines. Meanwhile, the push continues forward.
Ooh, those force fields not really getting too much done here. He's stalling out the push just slightly. No glaives yet. Blink is going to finish. Without glaives, the damage of this army is a lot lower.
Okay, he does have the Raven here. He might try to throw down some turrets along with this. Zest is getting pretty big, though.
Yeah, we could even see point defense drones. Like, this Raven is pretty gold right now.
Okay, here we go. Guns down that tank. Nice point defense drone there. But I think that the fact of the matter is that Protoss just has too much.
He's going to push him back a little bit. GuMiho's stimming forward right now. As these Adepts die off, that is all the tanking that he has. The Stalker's not going to stand up quite as well. Adepts coming back forward.
Oh, there's a Widow Mine over here, though. Ooh. Good job by Zest. He doesn't overextend. That could have been a lot of damage on all those Stalkers, which would really allow the Terran to try to push through.
You want no bruising right now, especially considering GuMiho is staying on top of these upgrades and this production. The bases are so close to each other, don't forget. Both players just kind of rallying towards third bases, so the attack distance is super short.
That's right. Sometimes we have very long games on this map, but it's definitely common for this to end with both players on three bases where the Terrans can sometimes push over the Protoss, and other times the Protoss absorbs all of the Terrans' attack and then just blinks into the other expansion and wins the game. And GuMiho really likes the mounting pressure, especially on this map.
Yeah, and he keeps adding technicality to his army and will continue to push in. Just really solid play overall. But Zest is going up towards Colossus, so if he can kind of hold on, get out 3-4 Colossus with this army, have that Glaives upgrade done, get this 2-1 done, that's when Protoss gets a really scary army that you can't just push over.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised in some of these moments we've seen Zest continue to push when he sees the entire army. I mean, the thing is, GuMiho has actually got some really, really good control. I think a lot of times he just wins fights he's not supposed to because he's outmaneuvering his opponent.
Well, big drop here. Well, I guess not too big, 2 medevacs, but still, you stand out of range of those pylons. So Zest loses a Stargate. That's a nice pick off. He's forcing some warp-ins and whatnot.
Yeah, there's not really enough down here to deal with this. I mean, anything he takes out is actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, this is just really annoying. Like, you have to commit more units up there. Looks like he cleans it for now, taking a 4th base as well. Oh, that's kind of a neat building placement there by GuMiho. Just throwing down his barracks any old place.
Seems like GuMiho wants to push in yet again. He's going to have these medevacs regroup with his army. The defensive posture right now for Zest is one where he's very much so ready for drops, but possibly not ready for a major push at his 3rd base.
That is going to be the very hard part. He's got a mobile army with Adepts and Stalkers, but when you bring everything to bear before these Colossi are out, that's tough. Look at how much money he has. 2 Robo Colossus being made with Thermal Lance. It's not done yet except for 2 of them, so this is hard to push over.
Okay, he's very close, about 1 screen length away from his opponent's expansion. 2-2 is done. Is GuMiho going to try to jump in here? Now, these Adepts are here to scout and check and see what the situation is here. In this PvT, he will see that Terran has a very sizable army that must be respected.
Can't just break that. He's got to wait for those Liberators to unsiege. Then he can get forward for a moment here. But the Colossus, again, range is not done. Makes it so much harder to pick off this bio.
Yeah, he's gotten a little bit closer. Now, there are Widow Mines over here, so even if he tries them with the Liberators again, if the Stalkers blink forward, they die on top of those mines.
This is a very good push coming out of him, but there's going to be 4 Colossus with Thermal Lance. He just finished up his +2 attack as well, so GuMiho is only up a single upgrade. And Zest has gotten to that point he needs to be in. His army can fight against something like this now.
Some of the Widow Mines and Marines and Marauders are coming around from the top. He's hoping he can displace some of this army, put some more pressure on here. But the real focus is, oh my God.
Ooh.
He's going to go for it, Artosis.
Ooh, this could be really deadly. Ghosts being made behind as well. 3-3 on the way. GuMiho in a nice spot. Can he get some damage done with these 5 medevacs?
He's coming in right now and unloading. Even with all these pylon cannons being activated, this infantry army will still be able to cut this all down.
Yeah, absolutely not enough at this stage in the game. But that means that Zest can kill the rest of the army here, unless it runs away right now, just walking right over it. Some adepts coming up, but miss hotkey there by Zest.
To some extent, it seems like Zest is kind of holding off everything, minus this big attack here in the main. If he gets a cybernetic score, that's a lot of tech he can't make.
I think he just walked over a bunch of Widow Mines as well. All those Colossus are really hurt quite a bit, so that could end up hurting him badly in this counterattack. A base trade is going down, so many gateways being unpowered, so Zest cannot even be making units right now.
Keep in mind, he's got this barracks wall up here, which almost helps the Protoss out to some extent. Now trying to hit these ghosts, but of course he can back up, and that army has to filter through that narrow area.
Oh, blinking forward, trying to push down some of these Vikings. One Colossus falls as it was already badly hurt. Probes being sent all over the place as well. GuMiho's drop continues to ravage Zest over here.
Oh my God, I think that GuMiho might have done it. All he has to do is survive this attack here from the Protoss, and he'll be okay. Because right now, the Protoss cannot make anything more. Terran just has to continue to pump out whatever he can get.
Yeah. He has to basically win with this army, and oh my God, against a concave like that, not too likely. The Vikings coming up, targeting down Colossi that are not even attacking the army.
Yeah, this is going to be it. GuMiho is crushing through Zest's army, completely outclassing his opponent, and that's going to be it. GG, a 2-0 victory for our Terran player, GuMiho.
Well, that was not exactly how I was expecting it to go, but GuMiho is very strong strategically in this matchup. Really never left any soft spots open for Zest to hurt him. And definitely some good pushes, great drops. That 5 medevac drop forcing Zest in a very uncomfortable position.
Congratulations there to GuMiho. That means for our winners match, it's going to be Alive versus GuMiho. I think that should be one of the most evenly matched winners matches in all of the GSL Codex. Both these guys so good at the matchup Terran versus Terran.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a pleasure indeed.
Guys, we're going to go to a short